Good evening on this Monday. Hello, everyone. For those of you who are watching live and those of you who are catching the replay, would love for you to all comment in the chat section if you have watched any of my other live streams. What's so great about these live streams on YouTube is they live here forever. And oh, let me do that again. I think my mic was, or my volume was too low. So, good evening once again. Welcome to another edition of my live stream. Every Monday, I've been going live here in my YouTube channel for about 20 minutes or so, and it's been great. To be honest, I'm proud of myself because I've been able to keep up. And there's just so many things that I want to share with my community. There's tons of resources that are available to you. And that is exactly what I intend to bring here. And so, for those of you who are joining me live, or if you're catching this on replay, I would love to know if you've watched any of the other lives I've done. Topics the past topics have been on emotions and creating and accelerating your path to fulfillment and processing your emotions. Also, last week, the topic was on stress management. And just to recap, what exactly are we managing when it comes to stress? We are managing two things. Well, bundled them up into two things so that we can easily remember that it is a stress reaction management and stress impact management. So basically, it's about how we are handling it internally, which is the impact, right? And then how are we behaving? How are we reacting as far as our is it affecting our relationships, our goals, our motivation and things like that. And so these are very important things to consider when it comes to stress management because I as I said also last week, I created a post about um, just how we mislabel, or maybe there's myths or misunderstandings surrounding stress management, right? Because stress management sounds like we're managing our lives, making sure we are stress free, but that is a too idealistic way of looking at things. There is no life that is stress free, if you will, right? As you may have experienced for yourselves, there's just stress whether you are, where you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, you're an employee, you're a boss, you're a parent, you're a friend, or, an adult child of your parents, right? Like, so there's those in every situation. Stress will continue to just be a part of our lives, but that is normal, right? That doesn't take away from your identity, or it doesn't change your identity when there is stress present in your life. And that's what I wanted to lead into today. What are your frustrations? I wonder what are your some of your frustrations when it comes to stress? Like when you feel stressed out, there's usually what I noticed personally, but also, with my clients, there is then this circular oh, it's a cycle, if you will, of okay, I feel stressed and then I feel frustrated that I'm stressed, but I also feel bad and feel guilty that I'm stressed and I'm not doing anything about it, or things are just too overwhelming, right? Like those things can just become cyclical. And that's really where the suffering um, endures, if you will. That's where they get, that's where the suffering gets its power, is when there is a cycle and the stress becomes unresolved or unreleased, right? And somatic techniques is one of the ways that you can manage your stress reactions, and in fact also the impact of stress and the effect of stress on your mind and your body. Somatic, the word soma, means body. So somatic techniques are techniques and tools, skills that have to do with connecting with your body. And there are, and I understand that there are so many who are feeling disconnected from their body, whether they're aware of it or not, right? When it is on the subconscious level, it's things like, pushing yourself to the limit, not understanding when your body gives you signals that it's time to rest. And then also, if you tend to get sick often, that can also be a sign that you are disconnected from your body. There's some type of disconnection. I remember, I think it was last year or the year before, I got sick a couple of times, right? But they lingered longer. So there was more frequent days when I got sick last year, and the duration of that sickness was longer than usual. And so that is definitely, a sign that I needed to communicate with my body, lean into my body, try to make sure that I am listening to these uh, signals that my body is telling me that, okay, you're about to reach your limit, right? The moment that the headache hits, the moment that you start to feel the pain, that actually means that you've missed the signals. The signals, right? When it comes to somatic work, the signals are, and I've said this before, the tightness, the tension, the tingling, the ache, right? So those details that you feel, right? Sensations, and paying attention to them and leaning into them. Uh, those are those that's where you really want to interrupt, and that's where you want to prevent, and that's where you want to intervene when it comes to somatic work. By the way, somatic work is an evidence-based practice. It originated from, a couple of people. Peter Levine is one of them. Pat Ogden, Janine Fisher, Sharon Salzberg, and Bonnie Bridge. Those are the names that are connected to somatic work. And since then, is expanded so much, right? So it is evidence based. There are so many tools that are connected, so many subcategories to do with somatic work. And so, like I said, it's those details of tension and aches and tightness that are part of somatic work. Now, why? are these somatic techniques so important and how are they beneficial? Plain and simple, you can do somatic techniques anywhere you are, uh, any place, any time, right? You don't even have to really stop. It doesn't take very long to do somatic techniques. And also, they are very effective, especially for emotion processing and stress management. Um, Somatic techniques are those techniques that really center into the body. And because it is focused on those physical sensations, you don't have to think, right? And you don't have to understand the full reason of why you're stressed out. So here it is. The first thing that you're going to want to do, like I said earlier, stress is going to be present. You have to get used to rating your stress. You need to ask, what is my stress level today? Right? And it could be low, and that is perfectly fine. So you want to, you can use many different rating scales, by the way, but I like to use a low, medium, high, right? So, when you say, let's say, oh, my stress level is pretty low today, you still need to do your somatic techniques. Yes. The lower your stress levels, the better your somatic techniques are going to. One, they always work, no matter what level of stress you're in. But two, your body just gets used to these techniques, that, especially if this is the first time that you're doing somatic techniques, it's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel strange for your body and your mind. And so it's going to take some practice to do these somatic techniques. So again, I love somatic techniques because you don't have to, get to the root cause of what is happening, or you need a whole narrative of why this is stressing me out. In fact, somatic techniques can actually help you get to the root of your stress levels later on, right? Like you get to support yourself right away. When it comes to somatic techniques, you are supporting yourself right away, right? Because there's no analysis involved, there's no intellectualization, there's no research, nothing. You are simply leaning into the wisdom of your body. And that is key. Now, the body has wisdom. The body is a source of healing. How do we know? We know this from tons of research, scans, even brain scans, right? And studies have shown how amazing our body has been designed when it comes to our own healing. So, that's the foundation of it. If there has been an experience in your life where you felt like, no, I don't understand my body, I'm not sure if my body really does have that wisdom that you're talking about, it's okay. Make sure that you go back to that foundation, right? But still, you can still listen through this, and I will still demonstrate these somatic techniques. But that is the first thing that we have to, um, wrap our belief system around, is that the body is a source of healing. The body knows our stories, even when we cannot articulate them, right? So, get to know your body, get to know the sensations that you feel. Then, once you rate your stress level, okay, I'm a low, or maybe, you're feeling stressed at medium or medium to high, right? So, what you're going to do is you're going to sit or stay wherever you are, even if you're in the middle of a meeting, right? And you just want to let the stress come up and understand where in your body you're feeling it, right? So let's say your neck starts to hurt, right? Or your shoulders start to kind of come up, and almost like this is like a protective mechanism, if you will, right? Because it's like you're shielding yourself, uh, maybe in avoidance or protection. And so when you start to feel that, or maybe okay, let's do that first, right? Like your shoulders start to raise and kind of um, shorten your spine a little bit, right? And your posture changes. Then you're gonna the somatic technique is to elongate your spine a little bit more, and then to open up your shoulders. And this is a reminder of safety, and also sort of like in a receiving mode, not necessarily not in a protective mode, right? Like in a more welcoming mode. By the way, so I had posted about, this week, make sure that you give yourself the gift of looking at beautiful things and immersing in them. So when you are in different environments, and especially in environments where you feel great, when you feel connected to the people, you want to check in with your breath, and you want to see if is your breath feeling expansive or constricted, because that can give you a clue also of your stress levels and how you're going to respond, right? And then you also want to see um, how what your body does in certain environments, right? It's so cool because somatic techniques can increase your self-awareness without even, well, I mean, you are doing the work, but it's like two birds with one stone, right? Like you are increasing your self-awareness, but you're also supporting yourself through these somatic techniques. So that's how you would apply these somatic techniques, is really body sensations. Okay. So, when you're medium to high stress and you feel, all these movements that are coming from your body, then you want to start to release those movements. Now, let's say you're climbing up, your stress is climbing up, and you notice that you start to make a fist, right? Or in that the tension, on your lower arms, they start to get um, real, more real. So you want to just slowly release the fist, right? And open up your hands. Is this making sense to you? You let me know. And I would love to hear, your feedback. Um, and another somatic technique that I want to share with you is orienting your sense of sight, right? So, where are you looking? How are you looking? Not hypervigilantly, looking for something, but you're just scanning loosely and softly, I should say, right? As a soft scan, because you want to make sure that you are also, again, receiving safety from your environment when it is present. Receive safety from your environment when it is present. If this is something that you are more curious about and you would like to know, how this can work in specific situations, let me know. I do provide coaching for my global clients and therapy for those who live in Florida. Somatic work is so fascinating because, again, you don't need to come up with the whole story before you begin your healing. It is in that process that stories start to come up, but also, again, that compassion and support that you always needed is there as you are going through the work, as you are getting to know your body, as you're getting to being more connected and reestablishing that relationship with your body, the sensations, the emotions. It is those emotions, thoughts, and behaviors that you want to look at when it comes to your stress levels. It's not the getting rid of stress. Like, I don't want to be stressed. Just relax into life and try to understand where you are as far as your stress level so that you can show up for yourself. You can show up for your relationships and the things that are important in your life. And you can definitely use somatic techniques for that. So, again, noticing how your body is working through those stress. There are deeper levels of somatic techniques. When it comes to chronic anxiety, intense stress, as well as unresolved trauma, you will find my information in the description box. On my YouTube channel, you have access to a free guide called the Equip Your Mind to Cultivate Positive Change, which is such a great guide. It goes into 6 different tools, for you. And if you're ready to have a free consult with me, you also have that link in the description box. And any questions that you have, again, feel free to email me at hello@joyacaso.com. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight, and I will see you again next week. Uh, that is going to be September 16th at 8:30 p.m. EST. Take care, everyone.